Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Nick Tan Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about the NYX Project by Luca Volpe. So hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for spending some time with me today. So on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about a release from a good friend of mine, Luca Volpe, and this is something that he calls the NYX Project. Okay, so it's not N-I-Q-U-E-S, all right? It's actually spelled N-Y-X. So what is the NYX Project? Well, it is actually a deck of cards. Okay, it's a deck of playing cards that has on each of the faces one kind of motivational word that you would find, most oftenly used in a kind of corporate kind of an environment. And being a corporate performer myself, mainly in the dinner and dance kind of a market, I'm often asked as well by clients to incorporate the use of such motivational words, all right, in the course of my show, all right. So words such as mission, or passion, ambition, and things like that. Okay, so I know kind of exactly where Luca is coming from when he put this deck of cards together. So for those of you who are followers of Luca Volpe's work, he had actually something that he released some time ago called Powerful Words, okay, which is a corporate act, using motivational words as well. And the NYX Project is actually kind of based upon that initial idea, that being that, you have a deck of cards that has motivational words written on them. So in Powerful Words, you had to kind of make up your own deck, with a blank deck of playing cards, double blank cards, bicycles, and on each of the cards you would have to write down each of these words by yourself to make up the deck in order to perform the Powerful Words act. But now you can actually perform that same act, okay, but just using this professionally printed deck of cards. So I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, would know of the work of Luca Volpe, right? And he's got a very active Facebook group as well. It's called Luca Volpe Mentalism Productions, and on that Facebook group, he also actually has his own review show, that he calls Breakfast Mentalism.
Hello everyone, Luca Volpe here. Welcome to Breakfast Mentalism.
So clearly I'm not Italian. And Luca has been really kind to me over the years. He's organized online events, Mindvention, where he gave me the opportunity as well to lecture at. And I think he has contributed quite a bit, to the mentalism community, right? Creating this platform for him to share ideas, for other mentalists as well to come on and chat about their products, their releases as well. And also, of course, what I like about him is that he's also a professional performer, and I often find myself connecting, really well with performers, right, like myself, because we tend to look at things in a similar way, we tend to approach things in a similar fashion as well. And, the methods that Luca favors, tend to be, the kind of methods that I like as well, just really simple, low-tech, and really direct stuff. So what do you get when you purchase the NYX Project? Well, you will obviously get this deck of cards. I will show you the deck in just a moment. On top of this deck, you'll also be given access to a PDF, all right, where he will explain to you exactly how to read the cards. Okay, so this is actually a deck of readers as well. On top of that, there will be ideas about how to use the deck, and some routines as well. And then you will also be given access to a video download. Okay, so this video tutorial actually runs for just shy of an hour. And on the video, Luca will give you an introduction to the whole project. He'll tell you his motivations for coming up with the NYX deck. He will explain to you how to read the cards and give you some ideas for practice as well. There will be live performances of the routines that Luca performs with the NYX deck, and also, of course, he will explain exactly how to perform them. Alright, but now I'm going to change the camera angle slightly to a more tabletop kind of a view, and then I'll just show you the deck of cards and explain to you what they're all about. Alright, so here we are. This is the box, okay, that the deck of cards comes in. I was a bit bummed, because during shipping actually, the corner over here actually got damaged slightly. I just small point, but I like to have my stuff looking pristine when I receive them. But this is actually the deck of cards. Okay, so let's show you what the cards look like. The faces are like this. Okay, so on the faces actually you will notice that there are actually 3 items. okay, that are on the faces. Okay, you will have the word, okay, the motivational word. You will have a playing card, and also a random number from 1 to 52. Okay, so each of these cards are like that. Okay, so that's ambition with the 5 of hearts, number 5. The 4 of clubs has success, along with the number 17. 8 of hearts has create and number 8. And yeah, that goes through the entire deck of cards. You will receive actually a deck of 52 cards, along with 2 jokers and one of these, which is a DB. Okay, so that can be used in the course of any of the routines that you want to perform as well. But yeah, right, these are the faces of the cards. Okay, this is what they look like. They spread and they handle really well, exactly like how you would expect any of your familiar bicycle cards to feel like. So those are the faces. Okay, so let me just show you the back design. So the back design looks like this. Okay, it's just like a whole bunch of like, squares and stuff like that. Okay, it's just a kind of a busy design, and this design was actually done up by Phil Smith. Okay, so just by me mentioning the name Phil Smith, I think you will know the genius that he is in putting together back designs for playing cards for magicians. So let's talk about what you can expect from the back design of the cards. Okay, so well, they actually give you all the information you need that is on the face. Okay, so for example, here is freedom, the 2 of spades, and 51. So just by the card being on the table like that, and just by a casual glance at it, you will be able to tell all 3 of those items. Okay, so for example, if I would just randomly cut the cards like that, I can tell you that this is actually the number 33. It's the 7 of diamonds, and the word is expert. Okay, so there we go. Expert, 33, and the 7 of diamonds. Okay, so all of the information that is on the deck, all right, on the faces of the cards, you will be able to tell. Now, I do feel a bit strange talking like that without seeing my own face, so I'll talk more about the my thoughts about the design of the system that is used when we bring the camera back up. Well, you could actually perform your I don't know, your magic routines with this deck, but I don't think they suit the more visual kinds of routines, right? Because there are no pips on the cards, so even if you were to do, like, for example, hope I can get the angle right here, if you were to do like a color change, for example, the change doesn't look that obvious and doesn't look that magical, okay? Because I mean, they are not really playing cards, right? There's not much as much color, as you would see, on picture cards, for example. So visual stuff might not really work. But then again, if you were to really want to get this deck, I don't think you would, get it for magic routines per se. And we're back. Okay, so let's briefly talk about the back design at this point in time. So I mentioned Phil Smith designed them, okay, earlier. And if you're familiar with the DMC deck, all right, the incredible system used on the DMC deck, this is kind of similar and yet different. Okay, now, while there is no memory work involved to use this, okay, I mean, obviously you could set this up in some kind of a stack, but there really isn't a need to, okay, within the contexts of the routines that you perform using this deck of cards, okay? So I'll talk about the back design. So for example, if you were to look at, let's say if we cut to a random card, and if I look at this, I can tell you that the word is happy, okay? So there we go, happy. You can spot the number, the playing card, as well as the word. However, it will take a bit of practice. Okay, it's not something that you can just kind of read immediately. Your eyes do need to kind of get used to it. So it will take a little bit of work on your part just to get familiar with how the system looks like. Okay, and once you have trained your eyes to look at it a certain way, then yeah, you will have no problems whatsoever. Spotting just one of the elements, either the card, the number, or the word, can happen quite fast. But if for some reason, you need all 3 bits of information, right, then it will take you, a second longer, I think, to kind of, ascertain what the values are. So that is the deck, it's quite straightforward, right? It's a deck of cards that has, numbers and that, motivational word there as well. So let's talk about what you would use this kind of a deck for. I see this as, well, it really isn't a trick by itself, right? It's really just a tool, for you to use and for you to create your own kind of routines, right? However you wish to perform them. You know, they can be performed close up, you know, on stage even, because you know, you can use the words themselves on the cards to create really interesting kind of reveals, you know. And in the routine that Luca actually shows you, that's exactly what he does, right? He gets, you know, 4 people on stage, each of them chooses a word, and he reveals each of the words in a really interesting way. So I think for such routines, it really is all about, you know, getting the selection process out of the way as quickly as you can, and then just focusing on, you know, revealing the information. And because you can kind of orchestrate you know, the words that are chosen and the words that are used, you can design a really interesting kind of a reveal sequence, right, that builds along the way. And it might just also tie up with whatever your client, right, the company that you're performing for, whatever message that they would like as well. You can also kind of work that into, you know, using, you know, this deck. Again, I think of it as really like a tool, all right, for you to create your own routines with, okay? And I think just using the deck alone, for example, in close-up, you know, I've got some ideas for using them in close-up as well. As I've mentioned before in other videos, right, the worst way to use such devices, okay, is to, you know, have a card dealt in front of you and then you tell them this word is honest, and then you turn the card over and it's honest, right? So I think that's the worst way to do it. A better way that I enjoy doing, all right, is to use that information that you know, but they don't know that you know. Yeah. And then from there, use it to build into something else, right? It could be part of, you know, a mental epic, all right? Or it could be used as part of a confabulation. You know, it could also be the last item in your confabulation, all right? So, you know, you don't have to do the work for the confab because the last item is one of these words which, you know, you already know it will be. Okay, so I hope you know what I mean, right? And I might just shoot a really quick video as well, just to discuss some of the ideas I have with this deck, and I'll probably upload it to the NYX Project Facebook group. Okay, so there also is a Facebook group on Facebook where you can join. And I think members, you know, can discuss ideas about how to utilize the deck. But all in, you know, I think if you are a corporate performer and if you work in that kind of an environment, right, and where you can see yourself using these kinds of words, right, like believe, you know, a truth, right, a hope, you know, these kinds of motivational kind of corporate businessy kind of words, then yeah, it is a valuable tool to have, I think, because it gives you an option. I think, you know, tools always give us options, all right, with which to perform, right, and to use in order to create certain kinds of effects in our show. And I'll be the first to admit to you, right, performing mentalism, you know, in the kind of corporate environment, you know, it might not necessarily be the most satisfying, you know, deeply affecting kind of mentalism, you know, that we're all so fond of, right? It really could be just, you know, just using these words, you know, that the corporate clients love to hear, you know, and just letting them see that you have somehow incorporated it into your show for them. Alright, but that's all I have to say about the NYX deck. You know, it is what it is. It's a deck of cards with the motivational word and the random number from 1 to 52, which, I mean, you could use for a magic square, perhaps. So I'd like to thank Luca Volpe for very generously sending me one of these, okay, so that I can chat about it with you guys on this show and also to use it in my own work as well. If you'd like to pick up a copy of the NYX Project, I do believe that it will be available from all major dealers. But that's all for today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it as well. Till the NYX episode, okay, do stay safe, take care of yourselves, have fun with your magic and your mentalism, and I will see you on the NYX episode of Nick Tan Chats.